Well, all right. If I had a bell, I'd ring it. Welcome to the City of Brisbane Park and Recreation Commission meeting this Tuesday, November 17th, 2020, and this is a virtual meeting. It is compliant with the Governor's Executive Order N-29-20 issued on March 17th, 2020, allowing for deviation of teleconference rules required by the Brown Act. Consistent with the order, this virtual meeting provides a safe environment for staff, parks and recreation commissioners, and the public while allowing for public participation. The public may address the commission using exclusively remote public commenting options, which are detailed next. The commission may take action on any item listed in the agenda. Regarding public meeting videos, members of the public may view the meeting by logging into the Zoom meeting listed below, which I'm going to read to you in just one moment. Public meetings can also be viewed live and or on demand via the city's YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/BrisbaneCA, or on Comcast Channel 27. Archived videos can be replayed on the city's website via the All Meetings page, http://brisbanecA.org/city-government/meetings. If you would like to address the commission when an item you're interested in appears on the agenda, you may address the commission at that time. If the matter you're interested in is not on the commission's agenda, but is a matter that is within the commission's subject matter jurisdiction, you may address it under citizens' communications. Meeting participants are encouraged to submit public comments in advance of the meeting. For remote public comments, aside from commenting while in the Zoom meeting, the following email and text line will be monitored during the meeting, and public comments received will be read into the record under citizens' communications. Email at jfranco@brisbaneca.org, text to 628-219-2912. That's again, 628-219-2912. Or you can join on the Zoom link at https://zoom.us/j//93609968614 PWD equals V3RGNTHLAEJPY1IVLDZ09. Meeting ID 936-0996-8614. Passcode 111720. Dial-in number 1-669-900-9128. And with that, I'd like to call this meeting to order on Tuesday, November 17th, 2020 at 6:34 p.m. And I'd like to now please have a roll call.
Commissioner Boggs.
Sharon, Commissioner Boggs here.
Commissioner Covino.
Present.
Commissioner Marmion.
Here.
Commissioner Needham is not here. And then Commissioner Bologoff, who will unmute her.
She's still muted.
Bonnie's muted. Jeff, can you unmute Bonnie?
You have to do ask to unmute, and I don't know if there's a button she has to push or not.
There is, but it's an iPhone. I don't know which button it would be. We know she's there. Does that count?
I clicked the ask to unmute button a couple times.
Oh, she's unmuted.
Bonnie, are you there?
You hear us, Bonnie?
I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Is that everyone?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then we move on to the adoption of the agenda. Are there any additions, changes, or deletions for the agenda?
Is there any way we can get the agenda up just so I can follow along?
I don't have that ability, but
Sarah, are you able to do share screen and put the
Yeah, let me get the packet. Um,
oh, okay.
give me 0.
Thank you. I'm going to approve the or adopt the agenda.
Okay. Thank you. Then do we have a second?
I second the motion to adopt the agenda.
Thank you. And all in favor of adopting the agenda?
Aye.
I think we have to do a roll call each time that we do this. Is that correct?
Oh,
correct?
So Commissioner Boggs,
Yes, I.
Commissioner Covino,
Yay.
Commissioner Marmion,
Aye.
and Commissioner Boligoff. Bonnie said aye earlier. Bonnie, can you say yes again?
Commissioner Boligoff, do you approve of the agenda?
yes.
Okay.
Excellent. All right. Then let's move on to approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from October 14th, 2020?
I move that we approve the minutes of October 14th, 2020.
And a second? Thank you, Bonnie. And a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Commissioner Marmion. All in favor of approving the minutes?
Sorry. Commissioner Boggs,
Aye, yes.
Commissioner Covino,
Yes.
Commissioner Marmion,
Aye.
and Commissioner Boligoff. Bonnie, do you, she motioned it. Does she have to say it again?
Yes.
Commissioner Boligoff, do you approve of the minutes?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Then, if that's okay, we'll move on to citizen communications. Does anyone have any citizen communications?
I don't have any emails.
Okay. Excellent. Then we move on to presentations. We have a presentation tonight from Aquatics, so I'll turn it over.
Share my screen. Okay. My name is Jeff Franco, and I am the Recreation Coordinator, and I will be doing a presentation on the City of Brisbane Aquatics for 2020 here in Recreation. This presentation will be different than a couple years past. We were not able to offer swim lessons this year or offer any pool parties. And when we did have rec swim, it was during the winter and it wasn't very populated. But we still have accomplished a lot this year. We were We're open normal schedule, our normal winter schedule, January through March 14th, in which we had lap swim, rec swim, and water aerobics. This picture was taken in late January, and it was a sunset, and it didn't have a filter on it. So the year started off very beautiful. In February, we closed the pool for the last 2 weeks for a remodel of the locker rooms. The showers and the countertops were resurfaced. They were first repaired, then regrouted, then recoated. These are pictures of the showers before and after. Pictures of the countertops. As you notice, they look brand new, and currently they still look pretty brand new. Okay. During our remodel, during our closure, the staff also did a lot of deep cleaning of the facility. And you see in these pictures, they were refinishing and restaining the benches in the locker rooms as well as the backboards. So we were open for 2 weeks after the remodel, and then March 15th hit, and we closed for the next 4 months. So the picture on the left, that was my office for the next 4 months. During those 4 months, we were able to still continue paying aquatic staff for some time. And the aquatic staff and myself transitioned with the rest of the Parks and Rec staff to promote and implement the Smile Brisbane campaign. Now we'll fast forward to July 27th. That was the day the pool reopened. The lifeguard staff, which is currently 7 staff, and 8 including myself, trained the week prior to learn and practice all of the new COVID-19 protocols. We made an informational video for the community with the key new policies and procedures as well. We are operating 2 different programs currently. The first being adult lap swim by reservation only. We have now been open almost 4 months and have been at 100% capacity the entire time for lap swim signups. We are managing an online registration system with weekly lap lane signups. And if people were to cancel, we work through the waiting list to fill the spots with the goal of having the pool full of 6 swimmers at a time at all times. The second program we're currently offering is water aerobics. And instead of being a drop-in class, now it's a session-based class with the capacity of 22 participants. And since we've started the water aerobics class, we've been at 99% capacity. I think one of the classes had one person or one spot open. Didn't have anybody sign up. We do have 22 people, and you see in the picture, we keep the lane lines in and ensure that people stay at least 6 feet apart while they're doing the water aerobics class. These are a couple of pictures during the wildfire smoke. So on top of all of the COVID-19 challenges this year, we have also had to overcome setbacks via pool closures due to unhealthy air quality from the wildfire smoke. The picture on the right was from September 9th, the day the sun didn't come out. Swimmers and water aerobics participants enjoyed swimming during the day with the pool lights on. So in closing, the aquatic staff and I have worked very hard in these challenging times to provide some normalcy by operating the Brisbane community pool in a safe manner, and plan to continue to do so until we're able to expand our programming back to what we once were able to. So like last year's, like I said, I don't have as many statistics and numbers, minus the fact that we have been in high demand this entire time, especially as not too many neighboring pools have been open, and when they've been open, stayed open. So we have run pretty smoothly, I would say, while we've been operational. and definitely very safe. Is there any questions? Renee has raised her hand.
I'm just wondering now that are we in the red or the purple?
We just went to the red.
But we're closing the skate park and the basketball courts. Is that correct? Are we going to be closing the pool?
At this time, I haven't heard any direction that we're closing the pool. I know indoor pools in the county have had to reclose, but outdoor pools are able to stay open because, from my understanding, and Noreen, correct me if I'm wrong, because it's a supervised facility.
Okay.
Right, and we were in operation prior when we were within the red as well, when we were in the red tier previously, so we can remain in operation. There's no guidance that's requiring us to close the pool at this time.
Okay.
Well, I think that you guys have been amazing, to be honest. I watched the video that you put out before when you opened the safety video. It was great. And my sister-in-law and my wife both are in water aerobics, and they like literally the day they have to register, they're both like, "Are you on the phone yet? Did you call yet? Are you registered?" And they like usually end up with each getting 1 day or something because they're too late. But so yeah, I'm really proud of you guys for being able to keep that going, because I know it meant a lot to our community. So thank you. Anybody else?
Good job, Jeff.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you. All right. Then with that wonderful presentation, we'll move on to some old business. That is right now to talk about the festival tree update. And there are attachments that we received with our agenda that talked about those things. But I'm going to turn this back over to Noreen.
Thank you, Sharon. As you are all probably very aware, and our residents are aware, there is a very brown looking tree at the primary intersection of town at Visitation, San Bruno and Old County. Last year, a subcommittee comprised of Park and Rec commissioners as well as Open Space and Ecology Committee members met in the leading up to the planting of the tree last December. It was a sequoia dendron tree that was planted at the community park right next to the older festival tree as a replacement for the long-term future. We knew that when trees of this size are transplanted, that there's always the risk of shock, transplant shock. And that, coupled with a nearby irrigation leak, hasn't really given the tree the best start to its new home in Brisbane. It has struggled to kind of thrive. The city has had it assessed by arborists who've come out and they have recommended to the city that we give it a few more months to try and have it revive itself. They believe that there's a 25% chance that it could come back. They did indicate that the base of the tree, including some of the lower branches, are still pliable and green on the interior. So the city has decided to give it a couple more months to see if it can come back to life. If it's unable to recover, a new tree could potentially be planted sometime next year. The city would reconvene that same subcommittee of Open Space and Ecology Committee members, as well as Parks and Rec commissioners, to determine next steps in the process if that is the case. So, and we have shared previously that the tree is under warranty. So that's the latest update I have on the tree. And in relation to that, we will be decorating the old festival tree next to it for this year's Festival of Lights. So.
Excellent. Thank you. And then more old business, the Crocker Trail Master Plan process update.
Wait,
Renee has her hand.
Oh, sorry, Renee. I'm sorry.
I just went about that tree. They do realize it would take this 25% years for it to come back the way it was when we planted. You know, they do realize that, don't they?
I think they do. I think that what they're hoping to see over the next few months is some improvement. And if they don't, then we will take next steps towards removal and replacement.
Do you know if they talked with arborist Sweeney that's in town? The guy
I
that's
don't. I know that they did consult with Davy Tree Company. I don't know if they talked to Sweeney.
well, the next time when we meet again, let's include him on that because he's very knowledgeable. I'm surprised that they didn't or he didn't even notify the city hall.
Yeah.
That's
Okay. Thank you for that.
Thank
We definitely don't want to make the same mistake twice. So.
Oh, and also, when is the guarantee? When's the warranty go out? Is there a 2-year
that's a good
warranty?
question.
3-year?
I'll find out. I think it might be beyond that. I think it might be like a 5-year.
Okay.
I feel like it is. For some reason, 10 popped in my head, but I don't know if that would be that long. But I feel like it was a long time.
Yeah, I believe it was.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions or comments regarding the festival tree? All right. Then now we will really move on to the Crocker Trail Master Plan process update.
So just a quick update for the commission here. As you're well aware, the process of the master planning for Crocker Trail is moving forward. We've been working closely with the consultants over the last several months, actually since February, March, just before the pandemic began. So our timeline's been pushed back slightly, but the consultants have done a really great job kind of keeping the momentum as best we can. We conducted the initial stakeholder meetings with those key stakeholders that were identified early in the process, including representatives from Open Space and Ecology, Parks and Rec Commission, Public Art Advisory Group, San Bruno Mountain Watch, Complete Streets. I feel like I might be forgetting one. My apologies if so, but we had those stakeholder meetings, and then we conducted the first community workshop, as well as facilitated the community-wide survey. We did have 97 participant responses on the survey, so I think for us that's a pretty solid turnout, and a lot of great feedback from our residents and other community members that utilize the trail that don't necessarily live in Brisbane but come to use the trail. So we were pleasantly surprised and pleased by that level of participation for the first workshop. The next steps in the process, and you'll see in the attachment with the staff report, is the updated timeline for the project. What the design consultants are working on right now is the preliminary master plan, and then that will come to the technical advisory committee. We're looking to schedule that meeting the week of November 30th with that team. Initially, we were hoping that we would be able to facilitate the second community workshop before the holidays, but I think it will just be too tight to turn that around. And we want people to be able to really participate and give their energy to the process. And so we're going to wait to do the second community workshop until after the holidays. So what you are seeing on the updated timeline there, included with the staff report, noted of a date of 12/9 for the second community workshop that will be pushed back to January.
Okay.
So we will try to get that scheduled for early January, and we'll use the month of December to really promote, to get that engagement for that workshop. So also provided there is just kind of an overview of the project scope and next steps, so you have a general sense of it, but I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. I'll also add that there is a project website dedicated to the master planning. It's nested on our city website. It does include all of the survey results that were gathered from community members. So that's there for your review as well. They also did a 360-degree existing conditions trail tour, and that video is accessible on the website as well.
Awesome. Sorry. Does anybody have any questions or comments about that? All right. Then there's one more thing on old business, and that's the dog resurfacing update and direction from us for next steps.
All right.
All right.
So earlier in this year, this item came before the Parks and Recreation Commission, at which time the commission made a recommendation to City Council to proceed with resurfacing of the dog park using a combination of hardscape surfacing as well as some dog-friendly artificial turf. We took that to City Council in September, at which time they asked staff to come back with a couple of variations of what we were proposing. We did so on November 5th, and Council made a motion to direct staff to proceed with soliciting bids for the project and doing an RFP with a not to exceed amount of $80,000. What they did was they kind of took a couple of the potential conceptual designs that we provided to them and merged them into one. There was some conversation about having a desire to get as much artificial turf surfacing as we could for that amount, but also recognizing that that would drive up the cost. And so in order to balance that we would offset that with expansion of the DG, which we already have currently at either end of the dog park. So as far as next steps, staff will begin the process of reaching out to potential vendors to collect bids, and then we will make a recommendation to City Council to authorize staff to enter into a contract for the resurfacing, and then we will work on scheduling the best time for that resurfacing to actually take place at the dog park. And we will be sure to let the commission know, as that will result in closures of the facility as well. So.
Right.
I did provide, included with the staff report, a conceptual design that kind of spoke to what council was asking for in terms of a long linear patch of artificial turf down the center, possibly also with a raised mound on one side, which would help to offset the cost of the haulaway fees for the excavation.
Is there any way that maybe Jeff could put up the picture that you guys sent with that attachment so everybody could see it?
Yeah.
Well, please.
Cool. Or
Make it
Sarah, or Noreen.
Can you see that?
No. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So this is not necessarily what the design is going to be, but to just give the general idea of what we were hoping to achieve with, a majority of a linear pad of artificial turf and maybe one additional mound at the far end surrounded by decomposed granite.
And then is this, I mean, obviously the pattern might not be exact, but is this the amount of square footage you guys are thinking about for the turf?
Approximately 2,000 square feet.
Okay, cool. Oh, duh, right there. Sorry. I just saw that. So what do we need to do as far as what direction are we giving? Are we waiting until you've gotten bids, or are we approving this plan, or is this already done?
You don't need to approve the plan, no. We will just be sure to provide you updates with when we anticipate going back to council with the bid to proceed and enter into contract with the vendor. And then also probably have some communication with the commission regarding the timeline for completion of the project and the impacts that it will have on users as a result of the closures.
Okay.
I have a
Awesome.
question. We do have some equipment down there. Where will this equipment go on the?
Which equipment do you mean, Renee?
Isn't there some equipment down there right now for some dogs? I thought there was something. I haven't been there in a while.
There's a small canine ramp.
Okay.
Is that what you mean?
Yes.
It's on the current DG hardscape. It's kind of in this area. So that will remain where it is.
Are we getting any more things?
Not at this time, no.
Okay. And all the picnic tables and benches, they're going to remain in place. Will there be any more down at the other end, or?
We don't have any plans for that. The picnic table and chairs are fairly new. We just put those in recently. The commission had made some recommendations for additional budgeting allocations to provide those amenities. So those have been placed there, and they'll still remain there even after this resurfacing project.
And then the gate will stay there to separate the small area.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
And what happened to the covering? Wasn't there supposed to be an area with a covering?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes, we had budgeted for like a shade structure awning. We've purchased it. We have it. And
Okay.
then COVID happened.
Okay.
So
Cool.
it has not yet been installed. It's my hope that
Okay.
when we close the park to have the resurfacing done, that we can also have that installed.
Awesome. That's great. Cool. Yay. Any more questions about the dog park?
The dog people will be so thrilled when this is.
I know. I hope so. Let's
Really
start
nice.
with that.
And the huge advantage is that it can remain open 365 days a year. You know, we
Right.
won't have to close it due to inclement weather or drought or having to reseed or resod. And so I hope that there's value in that for the users.
Yeah, I think that's great. And once we can actually go back into a place that we can gather, it'll be fabulous.
Yeah.
You just have to keep it stocked with those poopy bags, or
Yes.
that'll be the only one of the complaints.
I agree. That's a whole nother story. Okay. Anything else about the dog surface in the park? All righty then. That brings us to new business. And guess what? We have none. So we move on to reports from the chairperson. That's me, and I don't have one. Subcommittees. We have a subcommittee report from the Festival of Lights. Renee, would you like to give that report?
Oh God, I have to remember. It's my back. I can't remember.
Oh no. All right. Would you like me to? Do you
Well,
have it?
We're going to have you chime in with if I forgot anything. We're going to do a virtual Christmas tree lighting with a parade, a car parade. That people can light up their cars and decorate. And we're going to have a route that's going to go around in the flatlands. And they'll end up at the tree. We'll have Santa there. We'll have the volunteer of the year there to light the tree. And graciously, we're going to have a new MC, which will be
That's right.
who will
Yes.
be the Broadway star. We're going to have a Broadway star.
Yes, Leanne is going to entertain an MC during the parade right before the actual tree lighting. So that's very cool. And she's very excited. She keeps like double checking. Now, when is it? What time is it? How long do I have to sing for? I'm like,
Okay,
you only get 30 minutes.
When is
What?
it, Sharon?
Well, it's December. Isn't it December 6th, right? I hope so, because that's what I keep telling her every time she asks. December 6th. And what time are we thinking of the tree lighting being at?
Well, the parade,
Did
what
we
time does the
talk?
parade start? Is that 5?
Or that, yeah.
Sarah, the parade starts at 6, correct?
Okay.
I believe it's 6. So by the time the parade winds through the designated route, I presume it might get to the tree lighting at the park by 6:30 or so.
And
Yeah,
people
that's what.
Yes, and people have to sign up to be in the car parade.
Yes, and
Yes.
we have begun to promote that as well.
So and my understanding is that the tree lighting, we're not going to really be inviting people to come down. We're going to hope that they watch it virtual. The people that will be down there will be the cars that just arrived down there with all their lights. And then, right, the light show from all the cars that were parading. But I noticed that in the notes, and I must admit I don't remember this, it talks about tree event kits with cookies and hot cocoa supplies, etc. When do they do that?
So Sarah, you can speak on this if you'd like, since she's kind of championing it, but we have already begun to promote them. They've been lovingly dubbed North Pole parcels.
Oh, very cool.
Inside they will have cookies and cocoa, as we traditionally have as part of the event, as well as some kind of light up festive things and I think a craft as well. So people have already started registering for those. We'll distribute them on the Friday prior to the Sunday event. And people will be able to pick them up at a designated location. And then they'll be able to use them over the weekend and have them for the event itself.
Oh, nice.
That is awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, yes, stars.
Oh, yay, the stars.
We can't.
That is
hear
cool.
Sarah.
You're muted.
There you go.
It has different lineup functions, but it's hard to see on here.
Mhm.
Oh, right.
Totally
That's
in
cool.
person, and in the dark, it looks better.
Yeah, and we
That
are
is
also
cool.
going to continue to encourage people, especially this year, to get their stars up on their homes.
Cool.
We connecting with Bob and Allison Wilson to be able to make sure that anybody who needs a star can have one. And we're also going to help to promote the businesses along Visitation to put up stars as well. And
Awesome.
happy to provide those to them free of charge.
That is cool. Because we have also decided as a club that we are going to continue to have the Star Awards. I think I talked a little bit about it at the committee meeting, and we're going to invite people to take their own pictures of their stars and with themselves, like a selfie. And we're going to make a collage, and we're going to do a show. Like, instead of having a live Star Awards, we'll put it up on like a Zoom show, and we'll invite people to come and watch it, and we'll put it together with some music. So that night would kind of what traditionally is the night that kicks off the lighting of everyone's star. So that's really cool that you guys are encouraging. And Lion Bob, that is his gift in the city. He's been the star maker for quite some time now. So that's really cool. Thank you for supporting that. All right. Then that's, is there anything else that we need to talk about for the Festival of Lights? Let's see. I think that's all been covered. Yeah. Okay. Then any questions from anybody? I think we were all there, but Lyle. Yeah, just kidding. Okay, I'm going to move on to setting subcommittee meetings. All right. So we y'all should have.
Sorry.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
The Trails Subcommittee will be meeting with the Technical Advisory Committee as part of the Crocker Trail Master Plan. So that one is already being set up.
Okay, cool. And then, so, well, obviously we don't have to worry about the Derby Day in the Park. That's quite a ways off. Beautification, do we need to do anything with that? Commissioner Marmion? No? Yes? No?
That's the beautification, and it's with the
City Council.
city council too.
Yeah.
We haven't met in a while. Maybe put a word out there. Maybe they want to meet. Maybe they want to hold off until the people are sworn in.
I can connect with Angel about that.
Because I know
Cool.
it's Karen Cunningham and I.
Okay.
So I know it's us too so far, and some citizens.
Okay. That's probably a good idea to wait till they're sworn in.
Well, I don't think
well-
anybody, because it's just her and I that's from, and there's somebody on OSAC, but there could be somebody new on OSAC by then.
Okay. All right. Then, thank you, Noreen, for checking into that. Concerts in the park. I mean, there's a chance that next year we could have concerts in the park, but when do they start meeting?
January.
Jeff's here. Yeah, it might be a good idea to convene the group in January.
We
Okay.
usually meet in January. We have at the end of last year, well, when we canceled last summer's concerts in the parks, I did get a verbal and a written agreement from the bands that we had scheduled for 2020, and they are all in agreement to do for 2021.
So
So,
that so
So
technically
if
we
there
would just
is
keep our schedule?
yeah, technically we still have the schedule. And my plan was to connect with all of the bands early in the new year just to make sure that they were still all on board and still had all the dates set aside.
Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. That's actually really thoughtful. So cool. So with that, then I don't think they need to meet right now. Events. Right? No? Okay.
We don't have any events.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Sorry.
We are doing Festival of Lights. Do we need to do that publicly? We've already set a meeting. Do we need to say it now for the public?
Sure.
Okay. So as of now, we have a meeting on the 23rd of November at 9 a.m. Is that correct? Okay. And that'll be our subcommittee meeting to finalize our events for the Festival of Lights.
Thank
All
you.
right. Habitat restoration, we don't need to meet for that, right? Public art. Is there
Yeah,
anything
what's going
going?
on with public art? We haven't heard from them.
Yeah, we haven't gotten any update. I know that subcommittee hasn't met.
Oh,
Hey, yeah,
is that the committee that takes care of the mural? Is that
yeah. Whatever
okay?
happened, that mural just kind of like,
Yeah, the subcommittee hasn't met since
Wow.
that item came in front of the Park and Rec Commission.
yeah.
My understanding from city council was that they've left it to be, they were going back to the artist. And I don't know what that means literally, but yeah, I don't think anybody's really met about it unless Bonnie knows something. You're on there.
No,
Commissioner
I don't know
Bolivar.
any. I haven't heard.
Maybe we should find out what's going on. Yeah, because what's going on with that mural at the skate park? This would be a perfect time to have it because it's closed.
We agreed we weren't happy with what was presented.
True. That's what the commission had decided.
Right.
I'll see if I can gather some information about the timeline for next steps in that process and report back to the commission at our next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, then recreation programs. Those are pretty limited, but do we need to have a committee meeting for that?
I would say not this time, Commissioner Boggs, because there's not an ability to have a program right now.
That's probably smart. Okay, then we go on to recreational facilities. Do we need to meet about anything with that? I mean, all we really have is the pool, right?
Which I can say is in great shape and it's
I
going
know,
well,
I know. It sounds like it's doing really well. So, alrighty then. Seniors.
We're not meeting.
That's alrighty then. And teen services, they're probably not meeting either, or are they? No? All right. And we know trails development is taken care of. And then use of 280 South Hill proceeds, that's all right.
Taking care of as part of the trails.
Okay. All right, then that's it on scheduling of committee meetings. We've got one scheduled, and that is the Festival of Lights. Excellent. All right, moving on to staff.
We have commissioners first.
Did I jump over things?
Yeah.
Oh, commissioners. Sorry about that. Commissioners, do we have any reports or anything from the commissioners?
I have some commission matters.
All right.
And I've already shared some of this with Noreen, but I'm going to share it with the rest of the commissioners. When I was out doing the walkathon to raise money for the fundraiser.
The fun run?
Yes.
Yeah.
The walkathon.
Okay.
The walkathon. And I was crossing to where the old bus stop was, and we have that one walkway that comes down. It comes off of Santa Clara Street, San Francisco Street. It's a walkway that's kind of up in the hill right there, and it comes down by the bus stop, kind of where your Christmas lot's going to be. And
Right.
I've talked about it before, but I really noticed, and I know it's probably going to go to Public Works, but the maintenance of it is really bad, and it is one of our walkways, and I think it really needs, to be looked after. The railing needs to be painted. I don't even think anybody is using it that much because the steps are so covered with leaves, and they probably need to be, some of the railroad ties or the wood needs to be replaced or what, but the walkway is not usable. And some of that hillside looks like it's going down, but I brought that to Noreen's attention. And then when I was walking back, I kind of looked at some of our signs, the sign that says, "Welcome to Brisbane," and that's the community park. It's time for those to be refurbished again. So I did drive and look at some of the canyon signs, the same thing. They just need to be freshened up. Was there anything else I said to you, Noreen?
I think those were the main things. And I did follow up after I received your emails with our Public Works Department. They are going to take a look at that hillside and determine, whether or not it's structurally safe. I know there's some massive eucalyptus trees there, so there's a lot of droppings from the trees. The city has currently contracted with a ADA compliance contractor who's going to be looking at all of our facilities, and they may also take a look at that walkway and trail and make a recommendation about it. I was also informed that one of those signs that you referenced, Renee, is actually a Chamber of Commerce sign. So I will reach out to Madison to see whether that can be updated, and then we're going to take a look at refreshing the sign that is the city sign. So.
And then another, which I did not tell you about, Noreen, I was looking at old Firth Park, Turtle Park, and I don't know whatever happened. I know we got the new benches in, I think, but we talked about the bricks, where it says Firth Park. We talked about that sculpture that was going to get painted by Lisa
Greenlee.
Yeah. So I don't know what's ever happened with Firth Park.
So we did put a budgetary ask in our budget the last cycle, and then the pandemic happened and it was taken out of our budget. But we're hopeful that maybe in the new budget year that we can allocate some funding for Lisa to assist with those projects. She is willing. And she already has it on her radar. It's just a matter of securing the finances to go ahead and tackle those additional projects. But we did swap out the benches and the tables since there was already an allocation for those items.
Oh, cool.
They also need the turtle.
Oh, the turtle.
It was the turtle and the sculpture.
It's shoved in the corner. It needs to be pulled out so the kids can use it.
Yeah. Thank you.
I just have a question. I'm sure we talked about this, but I can't find it anywhere, and I want it. I'm excited. Do we have a date yet for the sign? The big signs coming into town that we're switching over?
I have been hard at work on that, Sharon. We are supposed to get the official drawings this week from the manufacturer for the mounting points. So the units have been completed. They're assembled, and then we are in the process of lining up a contractor to conduct the site work at both the location at the community park as well as the one on the ridge. When we had the contractor out there to assess the site and assess kind of the weight-bearing components that would be put in place by the units themselves, we realized that there was a lot of rot in those wooden 4x4s or 6x6s, and that they need to be replaced.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the scope of the site work is going to include replacement of those structural beams as well as the roofs in both locations. And for the one on the ridge, it has to be set back a little bit further because there's an issue with the obstruction of the line of sight there.
There is.
there is some site work to be done. We are hopeful to do that in the coming months. And then we're also working, we have to establish electrical connections on the ridge location because we don't currently have lights on that signboard, although we do for the ones down at the community park. And then we're working out the logistics of the Wi-Fi for the remote updates as well. So yes, there's a very long answer to your question, but yes, we are consistently working on this, and we're hoping that in the coming months that we will have new e-ink signboards in place that can be updated remotely and more rapidly and be able to display more community messaging.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you. That's so exciting that we're doing that. I just feel so proud of us. So cool.
That's all.
Anything else? That's all? Okay. Anything else from any other commissioners?
Just
Commissioner Covino?
Nothing for me.
Commissioner Bolagoff?
Nothing from me.
All right, then. Now we can move on to staff and we can hear about really cool things, actually. I'll just turn it on over.
So Sarah's going to share these reports.
Awesome.
Let me share my screen. So we have Halloween first. So this is, the top photo is our preschool. And you can see our staff are dressed up. That's Ricardo. That's Winnie the Pooh outfit. And we have another preschool, they colored on pumpkins, and our after school, our Mission Blue site had a parade and all the kids dressed up. And then at Littman, they had this super awesome photo booth with all these balloons, and they had props, and it was really cute. We also did Treats in the Park, where we gave out these bags with candy and little toys that the kids could play with that had like Halloween themes on them. So the parents had to register them before, so we were able to space them out and knew how many people were coming. But these bags were of no cost to the parents, and we actually ended up with 96. We only had 96 bags, so all of those were gone. And then we had people who didn't sign up for bags, but we had extra candy out for them, and we played. We had the cornhole out, and so we had the bean bags, and the kids were able to take the bean bags home. If they left them, we would sanitize them for the next people to come. And we ended the night with no bean bags left, so that was our goal. We had some costumes too, so it was really cute to see them all out there. And that was during the farmers market, so we had the traffic of the usual farmers market people and our Treats in the Park stuff. And then moving on to the fire hydrant restoration event, I have photos of all the new designs that we have from this year. So we got we have a COVID themed 2020 design, and it's yellow, it's positive. You see the little earth with the mask on. There's some other images on that hydrant of like washing hands, and a Smile Brisbane. So it's on theme. We also have a brand new Ruth Bader Ginsburg memorial hydrant, and that one is actually the one in front of Bank of America. So it's very in a great place for a lot of people to see it. My Neighbor Totoro is a Japanese cartoon movie that the artist of this one told me that she showed all of the kids that she nannies. It was her favorite movie to show them. So this one is also, it's right in front of the school, so the kids can see it when they go back to school in person. And it's a really sweet movie about like imagination and childhood. And then we have a firefighter appreciation hydrant. So it's a little raccoon firefighter. You can kind of see his little hose in front of the blue ring. So those were our new hydrants. We also had a few refresh hydrants, and it went really well. It was very easy to distance this event because people would grab their supplies and then they could take their time over the weekend to paint, and we have little cups for the paint. So, any questions on Halloween or the event?
No, but it looks awesome.
I just had a couple of other quick updates to add. Regarding the BES modular, so we're hopefully good, I think, in the home stretch of that project.
Yay.
We are finalizing the installation of the ADA ramp. We are working through the remaining components of the building permit. We are finalizing with PG&E. They had an engineering team out to work out the logistics of the electrical connections. So we're getting there.
Nice.
There. We're very much looking forward to moving in. And then as far as childcare is concerned, we've been operating our preschool and our pod squad programs. We have heard from the school district that they intend to resume in-person instruction for schools starting January 19th. I will be meeting later this week with the superintendent to kind of flesh out how that will impact our childcare programs and what our programs will look like as a result of children returning to in-person instruction. So there may be changes to our childcare programs in the coming months and in the new year.
So would it be changes in numbers because you can't have that many kids on the same site then? Is that?
It could be. So we currently have a maximum of 14 at our Mission Blue site as well as our Lippman site. But there is some concern about cross cohorts. And so if we have kids on campus that are in their own respective cohorts, then we wouldn't want there to be a crossover of cohorts as a result of an after school program. So we would need to determine what that looks like. And obviously we're in a fluid situation and the circumstances and the restrictions are ever changing as we've learned this week alone.
Yes.
So there could also be changes that might impact the whole structure by January. We just don't know. But we want to have a plan in place for when children do return to school campus, and we want to be able to support whatever the school district is doing so that we can best support our Brisbane families.
Awesome. Awesome. It looks great. I leave town that way and I love seeing the progress on it. And I actually don't know if we had anything to do with this or the module or the after school care, but the idea that they finally made a 15-mile-an-hour speed limit in front of there when children are present is huge to me. And I noticed it right away and I feel like it should have been there a long time ago. So if that's anything to do with that, thank you, because that was awesome. So thank you. Is there anything else? That's it from staff. Any questions from anybody? No? All right, then now we move on to commission matters. Do we have any written communication?
Not that we've received.
No.
No, neither. Okay. And then the commission calendar.
So our next meeting is scheduled for December 9th.
Yes.
Sometimes the commission decides to skip the December meeting. It's certainly to your discretion whether you want to do that and resume in January. I know Sharon, you had mentioned that you might have a conflict, so we can have some conversation about what the best next step is.
Okay.
I think we should skip December.
Well, I have, am I allowed to say what my conflict is? Okay. I've been very blessed and was elected to the Brisbane School Board. So I unfortunately have meetings the same exact nights as our meetings. And I'm going to be being installed in December. And then following January, I'll be expected to be at the meetings. So I won't be able to attend our meetings if they're on these nights. And in addition, if we don't, I'd like to, not that I want to, I'd love to continue. I don't even know if that's even an option to have meetings on other nights. But beside that, as the chair, I feel that it's important then that we put a new chair in the event that I cannot attend the meeting. So I definitely won't be able to be at the January meeting as it's scheduled. So I would like to at least be able to resolve this if possible. And I understand if December is hard, but if we could even have a short meeting to resolve this, I would appreciate it. But if not, again, I'll do my best to work however we need to.
If the rest of the commission is open to an alternate meeting date, we would be happy to push out kind of a doodle poll to assess people's availability to determine whether or not we could have a meeting, even if it was a short one for just the purpose of reorganization of the commission. We could do that.
I'm for that if any of the other commissioners want to do a different night to meet.
I'm amenable to it as well. It's again rescheduling like we did for the month of November, rescheduling a meeting in December to hold it for reorganization. I'm happy to accommodate that. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm, except for, let me just quickly, I won't be able to meet Tuesday. I believe that that's a night I have a meeting for the Lions, but I could meet on Thursday, the 10th. Again, I'm flexible the next week. I would be available on a Wednesday evening or any other evening, actually.
So you're just not available the 9th?
Correct, because that's the night of our
Right.
school board meeting at 6:30, of course, exactly the same time as ours.
Or the 8th, Sharon? Is that a Lions Club meeting?
Yes, the Lions Club is at 6:30 meeting as well.
So we'd be looking at the 10th if we were going to stick with that week, or possibly the following week.
Yes, or Monday if that's not a holiday. Is Pearl Harbor a holiday?
No.
Okay, so Monday the 7th is, I would be available as well if that worked.
I'm open.
Marmion or Commissioner Covino or Balagoff, any known conflicts? for
I have
those
no
dates?
problem. I could meet on the 7th.
No known conflicts. I mean, for the other commissioners, we put out a doodle with some of the dates, the 7th, the 10th, and the following week, then we
Cool.
should be able to find something.
Great, we'll
Awesome.
go ahead and send that out.
Cool, thank you all. I appreciate it. Okay, then I think that's it. We'll wait to hear when our next meeting's going to be. We will meet in December, and I so appreciate all of you being here tonight, and thank you for everybody that was watching, and I will at 7:33 officially adjourn this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great
Bye.
evening.
Happy
Thanks.
Thanksgiving.
Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving to you all. Thank you. Good night.
Bye.